have here input from Te Warana Tawa, Chair of the Kawarau Iwi Authority, and Te Ahiwaru Iwi, Kaurau Marae Trust. Kia ora matua.
Well, if you're going to swap land, I won't have to give my... Before I start, Mr. Mayor, is that possible, the swap of land?
We are dealing here with a notice of motion that we will deal with today relating to the revocation. We'll deal specifically with that, and out of that may well come further discussions. So my suggestion is that we deal specifically with the reason why we came together today, which was as a consequence of an application or notice of motion for the revocation. Now, of course, this is something of a moving feast. You know, I'm well used to a fluidity in the public domain. So my view is, and I think it's important that we tease out the issue of and the specific legal matter that we have to deal with here, and that is whether we could or would revoke a special housing area having approved it. And I'm going to be really clear on that today. And then secondly, any further discussions, Te Warana, and you and I have had discussions on this matter in the past, as I have with iwi, relating to this land. And as you know, my roots are firmly in the south, and so have been a part of discussions over recent decades. And progress has been made, but this is a specific issue here.
Okay.
So Te Warana, you know better than anyone the ins and outs of dealing within the political and the resource management realm. So if you can just address yourself to the matter that we're discussing before us that we know of today.
You're the chief.
Kia ora.
Waku mihi he orit ki te rā waku te maiti I haere I mua I au. Pērā hoki o kuiwi me taku waka a taimai. Me ngāmihi ki o tātou tini aitua, me tō tātou kīngi e noho mai rai runga I te torona tapu o na tūkona mātua. Me tuku te aroha ki aia ki tana hoa wahine a rāua whāna putono e te parekahueriki. Pai marira. E te rangatira te koro matua tēnā koe. Koutou ko tō kaunihira. Oruarangi Special Housing Area. Thank you for the opportunity to present to your council on matters pertaining to the Puketapapa Papakainga, and more specifically, the proposed special housing area at Oruarangi Road. I am the chairman of the Makaurau Marae Māori Trust, the body mandated since 2004 to represent Makaurau Marae whānau on matters outside the environs of the Makaurau Marae Reservation. You have the annexures. I'm also the chairperson of the Kawarau Iwi Tribal Authority, one of the iwi that have ancient and enduring interest in this whenua, and who are also owners of ancestral lands within the Papakainga. You have an extra too. I am writing to make clear the position of both these entities and their beneficiaries, and also address some of the misinformation being propagated by Sol. Historical significance. The Oruarangi SHA is located in Ihumātao and is part of the Puketapapa Papakainga, the oldest continually occupied Māori settlement in Tāmaki Makaurau. Ihumātao is a place of deep spiritual significance to my people. Its many volcanic cones are all considered sacred and are ancestral places from which we derive our mana and connection to the land. Ihumātao is also significant due to its associations with the arrival of the Tainui Waka in Tāmaki and settlement there by members of its crew. Hape, also known as Rakataura, was the senior tohunga aboard the Tainui. The full name of our Papakainga is Te Puketapapa Taga a Hape. Commemorates the precise location that Hape directed Tainui to land and establish a settlement here in Tamaki. We are the descendants of Hape, and the original settlement endures to this day. However, no one has felt more keenly the impacts of colonisation and urbanisation. Since the unlawful invasion and confiscation of our tribal lands in 1863, the sanctity of our kāinga has been violated. Many of our sacred maunga have been destroyed by quarrying. The harbour that sustained our people has been devastated by pollution, along with its every tributary. Only recently, our ancient burial grounds were excavated to make way for the new Auckland International Airport runway. If I can pause there for a minute, sir. At a meeting held at the marae, or the airport marae is known as, Te Manukanuka Hoturua, the airport were looking for a home for tukutuku, and there were 3 marae present at the time. At that time, one of the people from one of our marae stood up and said that they wanted to have a karakia to lift the tapu, to allow for the airport to begin its development on this for the new runway. When we found out about when we found that the exact place was where many of our tupuna had been buried, I objected and said that we had ancestors that were buried along there, and it was known to us as a whenua parikura. We were told that the farmers had farmed it for over 100 years, and 87 bodies later is what was found. It gives you an idea of ihu mātau. The Environment Court decision in 2011, Manukau City Council, Makaurau Marae and Te Kawerau Tribal Authority appealed to the Environment Court against a private plan change that sought to rezone the land in question from open space to residential use. Tribal members gave traditional evidence at the hearings, noting the significant cultural value of the land, stating our position that it is a rare and living cultural landscape that requires protection. Archaeological, historical and geological evidence was also given regarding the respective values of the landscape. Despite the strong and sustained objections of mana whenua and the evidence given, the court ruled in favour of the plan change, thus enabling the land to be rezoned future urban under the Manukau Operative District Plan, SHA approval. In 2013, Auckland Council and the government approved a special housing area to develop 520 houses, literally on the back doorstep of our papakainga, making the provisions envisioned in the Operative District Plan an overnight reality. No consultation with the appropriate mana whenua representatives occurred prior to this approval, even though the Housing Project Office was fully aware of the historical significance of the Otuataua area. Despite protestations of the MMMT Tikita directly to the Mayor's office, meetings with Housing Project Office officials and considered legal opinions, including Your Worship, meetings with yourself, we were unable to have the SHA decision overturned. To my knowledge, we have pursued every legal avenue available to prevent this development going forward, but to no avail. This being evident from early in the SHA process, I was authorised by both the MMT and TKITA to enter into discussions with Fletchers, the developers of the Orurangi SHA. At this point, I must acknowledge the legacy of my cousin, the late Mary Ann Roberts, who was no stranger to this council. No one was more vocal in opposing this SHA on behalf of our papakainga. However, before she passed, Mary Ann also saw the necessity of working with Fletchers to protect our ancestral values and interests, as the development would happen with or without our involvement. She was involved in the early discussions with Fletchers on behalf of MMMT until her health no longer allowed her to be. As I put forward our position, I am mindful of the passion and dedication with which Mary Ann advocated for her people. If I can say at this point, Mr. Mayor, that the only reason we began to talk with Fletchers was that our lawyer had written to Parliament, to the outgoing ministers, both Peter Sharples and Tariana Turia. We got no assistance from there. And we were also informed that to change things, there needed to be a law change, in fact, overturn the law, the act that had been placed on this land. Where am I? Oh. Over the past months, I've been in negotiations with Fletchers to ensure that our cultural heritage, environmental and social imperatives are accommodated in the development. We have also provided Fletchers with a cultural impact assessment in accordance with the proposed unitary plan. This has been a challenging process, and although not ideal, I am satisfied with where we have come to. Fletchers have agreed for me to share with you their proposal to address our key concerns, as outlined below. The buffer strip, 80-metre wide, running along the length of the northern SHA boundary, bordering the village, to be returned in fee simple to our people. The buffer strip running along the northwestern boundary to incorporate the Maunga contours within the SHA and protect the heritage features along the lower slopes. Financial contribution to Makaurau Marae Māori Trust. Housing partnership to assist with the development of affordable housing for our whānau, our people from Makaurau. Assurances that Noan Wahitapu will not be disturbed by the development and will be ameliorated where possible. Protocols regarding the discovery and protection of koiwi and taonga. Return of part of our ancestral maunga, te pukutapapatanga ahape, back to the people. Protect the view line to the maunga. Provision within the structure plan to accommodate a future cultural visitors centre. Internally focused boundary, edge roads to ensure development is self-contained and cannot sprawl. Water-sensitive stormwater design utilising natural treatment train approach. Ecological planting. Urban design which is sensitive to the contour and natural features of the land. Incorporation of Te Aranga design principles. An undertaking to support our mandated authorities in partnership with Council to design and implement a Papakainga development plan as a means of cultural offsetting and to be funded directly by the development contributions, pending, of course, agreements by Council. The proposed gifting of the buffer strip land and portion of Puketapapa Maunga, when I say portion, part of the Wallace land has within it a portion of the Maunga, if looking at it from our village, the left-hand side. The Puketapapa Maunga is a watershed for the people of Makaurau. It will be the first time since the confiscations of the 1860s that such ancestrally significant land will be returned, and that's in ownership, to the descendants of the traditional owners, not via the Crown or Council intervention, but through a privately negotiated settlement.